In the face of tumultuous times, the Virgin Mary has sent a powerful message to guide us through the darkness that is soon to unfold. This call to preparation is not just about physical readiness, but a deep spiritual awakening that demands our immediate attention. As we stand on the precipice of a global event that will shake the foundations of the world, we are reminded that this is not merely a test of survival, but a test of faith. Mary, alongside the Archangel Michael, urges us to strengthen our hearts and minds in anticipation of a coming spiritual and physical darkness. The message begins with a vivid depiction of a worldwide blackout, not just the loss of physical light, but a profound spiritual darkness that will test the very core of our beliefs. This darkness symbolizes the trials and tribulations that will befall the faithful, and it calls us to prepare ourselves spiritually, emotionally, and physically. It is a warning, but also an invitation to turn to our faith, to lean into our prayers, and to deepen our commitment to Christ. Mary stresses the importance of returning to the fundamental practices of the Christian faith. Prayer, especially the Rosary, is highlighted as a vital tool in fortifying our souls against the coming storm. Each bead represents a step towards divine protection, a means to invoke the grace of God during times of great trial. The Rosary becomes more than just a prayer. It is a lifeline, a shield to guard us from the encroaching darkness. Equally important is the practice of confession. Frequent confession is encouraged as a means of cleansing our souls, ensuring that we are in a state of grace, ready to face the trials ahead with strength and clarity. This act of purification allows us to stand firm, confident that we are reconciled with God and prepared for whatever challenges lie ahead. Eucharistic adoration is also strongly urged. In the presence of Christ, we find the peace, strength, and comfort that will carry us through the darkest of times. Reflecting on his ultimate sacrifice, we are reminded that, even in our suffering, we are never alone. Christ is with us, offering his guidance and love as we face the unknown. As this warning unfolds, we are called to stay vigilant and prepared. The world will change, and we must adapt, but through prayer, confession, and a deep connection to the Eucharist, we can endure. Let us heed the message of the Virgin Mary and the Archangel Michael, preparing ourselves and our homes for the trials ahead. With faith as our foundation, we can face the darkness with hope and courage, knowing that God's mercy and protection will guide us through. As the world prepares for challenging times ahead, the message calls on believers to find spiritual sustenance in the Eucharist, a profound source of grace that will strengthen the faithful in the days to come. The Eucharist is not merely a ritual, it is the living presence of Christ, a vital nourishment for the soul that will guide us through moments of trial and darkness. It becomes a beacon of light when the world seems shrouded in uncertainty and fear. The Eucharist offers comfort and spiritual strength, fortifying believers with divine power to remain steadfast in their faith, no matter what the future holds. But spiritual preparedness is not enough on its own. The message underscores the importance of practical steps to ensure we are ready for the trials ahead. It encourages believers to stockpile essential supplies such as candles and non-perishable food. These practical items are not only necessary for survival, but also carry deep symbolic meaning. Candles, for example, represent the light of faith, which must be preserved even during the darkest times. As we prepare physically, we are reminded that our actions should also reflect the light of Christ in our hearts, acting as a testimony of our unwavering trust in God. The message calls for a profound alignment of deeds with divine will, emphasizing that living a life of faith and obedience is crucial to navigating the trials ahead. It warns of severe consequences for those who turn away from Christian principles, urging believers to reflect on their lives and ensure that their actions align with the teachings of Christ. This is a time for deeper self-examination, where we must ask ourselves whether we are living according to the values of love, charity, and service that Jesus modeled for us. A commitment to daily acts of love and compassion, as well as a genuine effort to embody the gospel in every part of our lives, is essential in preparing for the challenges to come. The message also highlights the need to abandon the distractions and temptations of the world and return to a life rooted in spiritual values. Conversion is not just an individual act, but a collective one. We are called to gather in prayer and support one another, forming a strong community of believers. Unity in prayer, whether in churches, homes, or small prayer groups, is presented as a vital source of strength. By coming together to pray for protection, guidance, and strength from God, we create a sense of solidarity that will help us endure the trials ahead. In these times of uncertainty, our shared faith becomes a source of both comfort and empowerment, reminding us that we are never alone in our struggles. The message, while urging vigilance and preparation, also carries a hopeful tone. It reassures believers that those who strengthen their faith and rely on God's guidance will successfully overcome the hardships ahead. This period of darkness, though daunting, is also presented as an opportunity for spiritual renewal. It is a chance to deepen our relationship with God, to grow in faith, and to allow our spirits to be strengthened. The coming trials are not just burdens, they are chances for purification, for turning back to God with greater fervor and commitment. In this time of impending change, the message lays out specific actions to take in order to prepare spiritually for the challenges ahead. One key practice is committing to the daily prayer of the Rosary, asking the Blessed Virgin Mary for her intercession and protection. The Rosary becomes not just a prayer, but a powerful shield, drawing us closer to Christ and to the protection of Our Lady. Through these practices, prayer, confession, Eucharistic adoration, and acts of charity, we can fortify our faith and prepare ourselves for the coming darkness. By living in accordance with God's will, we can emerge from this time of trial stronger in our relationship with Him, shining as lights in a world that desperately needs His love and mercy. In preparation for the trials ahead, a powerful spiritual message urges believers to fortify both their physical and spiritual readiness for the challenges to come. Central to this preparation is the recognition of the need for divine intercession, especially through the Blessed Virgin Mary's powerful prayers. Her intercession is presented as a guiding light that can lead believers through moments of uncertainty, offering protection and grace in times of spiritual darkness. The message emphasizes the importance of confession, encouraging the faithful to regularly partake in the sacrament of reconciliation. Confession is portrayed as a vital means of staying in a state of grace, ensuring that one's heart remains pure and open to God's will. This act of repentance not only purifies the soul, but also strengthens the believer's spiritual foundation, ensuring they are ready to face whatever trials may come. Equally important is Eucharistic adoration. Believers are urged to spend time before the Blessed Sacrament, reflecting on Christ's ultimate sacrifice and seeking His guidance in the silence of the Eucharist. This practice is highlighted as a source of spiritual sustenance and a means of drawing closer to the divine. In times of trial, these moments of communion with Christ are essential to finding peace, strength, and direction. In addition to these spiritual practices, practical preparedness is also strongly encouraged. The message advises believers to gather essential supplies in anticipation of a coming physical blackout. Candles, symbolizing the light of faith in dark times, and non-perishable food are suggested as part of this preparation. These practical items serve as reminders of the spiritual reality they represent, maintaining the light of faith even in the darkest of times. A central component of this preparedness is the establishment of a sacred space within the home. Believers are encouraged to designate a quiet, peaceful room for prayer and reflection, a place where they can retreat for spiritual communion with God. This sacred space becomes a sanctuary of prayer, where individuals can draw closer to the divine and renew their commitment to God's will. Unity in prayer is another key element of this message. The faithful are called to gather together in prayer, whether in small groups, homes, or churches, to support one another both spiritually and practically. By coming together, believers can provide one another with strength, comfort, and encouragement. Practical help, such as sharing resources or offering emotional support, serves to foster a sense of community and solidarity during challenging times. In these moments, the bonds of faith and compassion become a source of resilience. The message concludes with a powerful reminder that, despite the challenges and darkness that may lie ahead, believers can find the fortitude and resilience needed to face these trials if they remain faithful and trust in God's divine guidance. It is a call to action, urging the faithful to prepare their homes and souls, live in accordance with God's will, and support each other in their journey of faith. This time of impending darkness is framed not as something to fear, but as an opportunity for spiritual rejuvenation and a closer relationship with God. The message reassures the faithful that by strengthening their faith, engaging in regular prayer, participating in the sacraments, and preparing both physically and spiritually, they will be able to overcome the challenges ahead. This is a call to be vigilant and steadfast, to trust in God's plan, and to support one another as a community of faith. As we reflect on this profound message, we are reminded that every trial, no matter how daunting, can become a path to spiritual growth. By fortifying our faith, returning to fundamental Christian practices, and supporting one another in love and prayer, we can navigate through the darkness with confidence and hope. May this time of preparation lead us to a deeper relationship with God, allowing His light to guide us through the storms of life. Thank you for journeying with us through today's message. We encourage you to leave a comment with your thoughts on this subject, and don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon to stay updated on our future videos. Together, let's continue to walk in faith, hope, and love.